So thrilled to introduce our second keynote speaker for today, someone who is also very close to my heart, Dinalo Chakma. Dinalo Chakma is a third-year PhD student in the Department of English at the University of Florida. Before joining the University of Florida, he served as a faculty in a public university in Bangladesh. He also worked as a Fulbright foreign language teaching assistant at the University of Notre Dame in the US in 2018. Belonging to one of the indigenous communities in Bangladesh called Chakma, Dinalo's academic interests sit in the intersections of indigenous cultural resistance, post-colonial literature, and decolonial approaches in digital archiving and environmental humanities. So he is multifaceted and interdisciplinary. Currently, he's working on his master's thesis that intends to highlight the life of Dr. Mani Lal Dewan, the first Chakma academician of Bangladesh. So he is actually bringing, this story to our communities, and that's one of the big reasons why I wanted him to share with you all today, so that the work that that Dinalo is doing extends beyond the university and gets shared out with the broader public. So he foregrounds his role. So he foregrounds Dr. Dewan's role in harnessing Chakma educational progress and indigenous mobility in the mainstream society. Coming from a region where forced migration and displacement shaped public lives, he intends to focus on indigenous Chakma songs of the late 20th century for his PhD dissertation. So we're very, very thrilled and excited to have Dinalo with us today.
Hello, everyone. And at first, thanks to WebTales, the NASP program, and Dr. Laura Gonzalez for providing me this opportunity to connect with these courageous voices and to share my story with you all. So I will start off sharing who I am. So my name is Dinalo Chakma. I belong to one of the indigenous communities of Bangladesh called Chakma from Chittagong Hill Tracts region. So Chittagong Hill Tracts, shortly called the CHT, is a home to 11 indigenous communities. And my community, Chakma, consists of 0.3% of total population of the country. So my story today starts with my paternal grandfather. Back in 1960s, a mega project called Kaptai Dam was built on the Konofuli River in the heart of indigenous people's land of CHT. The purpose was to supply electricity demand for the rest of the country. The reservoir that was created for the dam submerged 54,000 acres of lands, bringing in devastating consequences for the people living in there. My grandfather was one of those 100,000 people, I repeat, 100,000 people who lost their ancestral lands, their livelihoods, their country, even their family members. As the merciless flood water devoured their ancestral homelands, everyone got busy to find a place to survive. Some had to find new homes in neighboring countries like India or Myanmar, and some in their neighboring districts of Bangladesh. So my grandfather got his new home in a neighboring district. My next part of the story is about rebuilding new life and dreaming again for a better future. Now that my grandfather isn't left much with to thrive, one thing that he dreamed for his future generation is education. In a borderland region like CHT, which is geographically remote and socio-politically underdeveloped, education became the lighthouse for thousands of people like him, like my grandfather. It took generations of efforts and sacrifices to come to the position where I am talking from today. So I stand as testimony of transgenerational resilience and tenacity. While growing up as an indigenous youth in a Bengali majority country like Bangladesh, who doesn't talk like them, who doesn't look like them, I encountered a lot of challenges in my life. But one thing that really made a big difference in my life is my education and my activism. I'm the first ever person in my family who became a faculty in a university, relocated himself outside the country, and is getting higher education. With privilege comes responsibility. So I have always wanted to use my voice for countless others who has the same level of skills, talents, or even better than me, but couldn't be here. When I decided to pursue my PhD, I could not do anything else other than working on my own community. So currently, as Dr. Gonzalez has already mentioned, currently I'm working on my master's thesis that intends to highlight the life of Dr. Maniklal Dewan, the first Chakma academician of Bangladesh, through creating a digital story building telling project. I want to highlight his life, celebrate his accomplishment, and bring him to the visibility, represent him to the mainstream people of Bangladesh and beyond. And also for my PhD dissertation, I want to focus on indigenous Chakma songs of the late 20th century. The purpose is to bring more visibility to my community and to bring more a presence, make the presence felt in front of the world. So as you can see, education enabled me to unlock opportunities for myself, and it changed my life trajectories in so many empowering ways. So I know many of you are willing to embark on the journey, and some of you are already on it. I wish you, every one of you, all the very best. More power to you. And thanks everyone again for inviting me today. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Dinalo. That was just so inspirational. And one of the things I loved is that you say, you know, we're not just here for ourselves, we're here for the generations before us and the generations after us. And I know that your community, your family, your mom are so proud of you right now in sharing this story with others, and that we're also very inspired by you. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us.